So today we shall be studying about differentiation of composite functions. So first of all, you should know what is this composite function. Composite function, it is the function which is dependent on more than one variable. Suppose you have some function u which is a function of x and y, and then again x is some function of t and y is some function of t. Then you can say this function is a composite function. This function u, that is a composite function. So that means we can make a diagram like this. U depends upon two variables x and y. Further, x and y, they both depends upon a single variable t. So here, what would be the derivative of u with respect to t? That is the question. So, because u at this particular level, there is one variable present. So that means we'll say this variable, according to this variable, the derivative is complete derivative. So it would be du by dt and not del u by del t. Why? Because here at this particular level only one variable is there. So we'll write the complete derivative. So how do you calculate this this complete derivative of u with respect to t? So for that you would have to look how many ways are there in which you could reach from u to the point t. So there are two ways. One is this way or there is this way. So firstly, you'll take the derivative of u with respect to x. Now this would be partial derivative. Why? Because at this particular level, there are two variables. One is x, another is y. So that means according to these two variables, we will take the partial derivative of u with respect to x, and then the complete derivative of x with respect to t. Why complete derivative? Because here at this particular level, the variable is only t. So this is one way to reach from u to the point t. So you'll first take the derivative of u with respect to x and then the derivative of x with respect to t. So this is what we have done. Another way is this one. You could go from u to y and then from y to t. So that means you are firstly taking the derivative of u with respect to y. Now this is partial derivative. Why? Because at this particular level there are two variables, and then multiplied by y, the derivative of y with respect to t. Now this is complete derivative because t is the single variable which is present over here. So these are the two possible ways. And why we have multiplied these two terms? Because both of these events are to occur together. So that is why multiplication. And you could calculate the derivative from either of these parts. So that means you have a or here, and by or, if you have studied that in physics, by or you mean plus. So what we are doing in effect, the total derivative du by dt, that is equal to del u by del x into dx by dt plus del u by del y into dy by dt. So this is what is the derivative of u with respect to t whenever u is a composite function. So this is the one formula that you should remember, but it is very easily remembered. Why? Because now you know how to remember this particular formula. So suppose if I have some particular cases. So suppose in case 1, my function u is a function of three variables x, y, z, and all these functions. So I have u as a function of x, as a function of y, as a function of z, and all these three, they are functions of some other variable t. Now in this case, I wanted to calculate what is du by dt. So this is equivalent to, firstly I'll take the derivative of u with respect to x and then go to t. So this is one possible way. So that is, I'm taking the partial derivative of u with respect to x and then complete derivative of x with respect to t. This is one possible way. Then the logic for this partial and complete derivative lies in the fact that at this level we have 3 variables, whereas at this level we only have 1 variable. So we'll apply the partial derivative here at this particular step, and here we'll apply the ordinary derivative. So that means this is the first step. Now for the second step, we can move from u to t through this path. So that means I will now have this as the partial derivative of u with respect to y, and then the complete derivative of y with respect to t. And for the third case, I can move from u to t from this path. So that means in this case, I would have the partial derivative of u with respect to z, and then the complete derivative of z with respect to t. So this is in the first case. In the second case, so case number 2, suppose my function z is given to be f of xy. That means it is a function of x and y, where now in this case x is some another function of u and v, and y is some another function of u and v. So what is the situation over here? So firstly you have to make this diagram. What does this diagram say? This diagram is just for your own reference, so that you could calculate what is the derivative of z with respect to u. So this you wanted to calculate here. For that, you first make the diagram. The first element is z, that depends upon x and y. It depends upon x and y, and both x and y, that depends upon u and v. So they both depend upon u and v. So that means at this level also you have two variables. At this level also you have 2 variables. So in effect, whenever you wanted to calculate del z by del u, it would be the partial derivative and not the complete derivative. And so that means you cannot calculate dz by du in this case, and you cannot calculate dz by dv in this case as well. So what we can calculate? We can calculate the partial derivative of z with respect to u and with respect to v. And what would be these two? So when you wanted to calculate the partial derivative of z with respect to u, it would be equal to this thing. Firstly, you'll go from z to u through this path and then through this path, because y is also a function of u. So what you have in effect is this thing is equal to taking the partial derivative of z with respect to x, and then the partial derivative of x with respect to u. And we have the partial derivative of z with respect to y, and then the partial derivative of y with respect to u. Why partial derivatives here also? Because at this particular level we have 2 variables. So that is why we use this symbol del. Okay. And now when you wanted to move from the point, when you wanted to calculate the partial derivative of z with respect to v, so you will go from z to v through this path or through this path. So we have these 2 possible paths. According to that, so we have the derivative here as the partial derivative of z with respect to x, and then the partial derivative of x with respect to v, and the partial derivative of z with respect to y, and then the partial derivative of y with respect to v. So these are the 2 formulas in this particular case. And for the third case, for the case number 3, we have, if the function u is given to be function of x and y is given to be a function of x. Now this is the situation. In this case, first of all, let us see what would be the diagram. The diagram would be u is a function of both x and y is a function of x. So that means it is y would be somewhere here and x would be somewhere here, and y, that is a function of x. So they are not at the same level, right? So here what would be the derivative of u with respect to x? This is the question. Now if you wanted to calculate the derivative of u with respect to y, you cannot calculate this one. Why? Because you can calculate this, but this won't be a composite function, because this directly depends upon y and there is no third factor involved. So that is why we are not going into this particular part. So for du by dx, what do we have? How can you reach from u to x? So there are two possible ways. One is through this path, second is through this path, right? So how do you reach here? Mathematically, you write this as the partial derivative of u with respect to x and then the complete derivative of x with respect to x, that is eventually 1, and the partial derivative of u with respect to y and then the complete derivative of y with respect to x. So actually this term cancels with this one, so you have del u by del x plus del u by del y dy by dx. And actually you cannot cancel these because they are operators and not simple dx terms. So basically what you are doing, you are operating this operator dx upon the variable x, so its answer is equal to 1. So you cannot cut these factors likewise. So this is what we have. This is the formula. So let us see some examples corresponding to these formulas. So the first question here is, if z is given to be xy square plus x square y and x is given to be at square and y is given to be 2at, then the question is find dz upon dt. So in order to calculate this dz upon dt, first of all you should know what is the diagram here. So z here, if you see, is a function of x and y. So it is a function of x and y. And if you see x, that is a function of t, y is a function of t. So both x and y, they are function of t. So, and we wanted to calculate dz upon dt. So what would be this? So you could again move from z to t from this path. So according to this path, our answer would be, firstly, it would be del z upon del x and then the complete derivative of x with respect to t. And plus the from the second path, for the second path you could move from z to t through this path. So that means it would be del z upon del y partial derivatives, because here we have two variables, into the dy by dt. Why complete here? Because at this step we only have one variable. So we can very easily compute these. We know what is z, we know what is x, we know what is y. So let us first calculate these derivatives. We have z is equal to xy square plus x square y. What do we want? We want this term and this term. So we'll first differentiate z with respect to x. So you have del z by del x. So here you will keep y as constant. So that means it would be y square plus 2xy. And then you will take the derivative partially with respect to y, keeping x as constant. So that means here you would have 2xy plus x square. So these two derivatives are available to you. Next, moreover, what do you want? You want dx upon dt and dy upon dt. So what would be dx upon dt? This is your x. So dx upon dt, this would be the complete derivative of x with respect to t. So that is very simple, that is 2at, and the complete derivative of y with respect to t, that is equal to 2a. So now we have all the values, we can substitute it here one by one. So del z by del x, that is equal to y square plus 2xy, and the second term is 2at. And we have plus the third term here is 2xy plus x square, and the fourth term is 2a. So now we can simplify this term. So we would finally have the answer as 2aty square plus 4atxy plus 4axy plus 2ax square. Now because the answer is required in terms of t, so we can substitute the values of x and y. The value of x is given to be at square and the value of y is given to be a 2at. So we can substitute these values. So we have 2at, value of y is 2at. So it's square plus 4at into the value of x, that is at square, into the value of y, that is 2at, plus 4a, the value of x, that is at square, and the value of y, that is 2at, plus 2a into the value of x, that is at square whole square. So now we can simplify this, and finally we will at the end have the answer as 16a cube t cube plus 10a cube t power 4. So this would be the final answer. You could check the calculations by yourself, that you can simplify these terms, take the common powers, club the coefficients, and the final answer would be this one. So let us discuss next question. The question is, so we have this question: if h is given to be some function of y minus z, z minus x, just a second. Okay, so we have this question, if h is given to be function of y minus z, z minus x, and x minus y, then we have to prove that, del h by del x plus del h upon del y plus del h upon del z, that is equal to 0. So this is the question. So now let us see the solution for this. So here, if you see what we have to prove, we wanted to calculate the partial derivatives of h with respect to x, y, and z. And here, if you notice that this h, that is a function of 3 variables. Now, what is h? H depends upon y minus z, z minus x, and x minus y. So you could rename these variables as u, v, and w. So it depends upon these two variables. And further, what is u? U is basically a function of y and z. Z is a function of, v is a function of x and z, and w is a function of y, x, and y. So this is the situation here. So what we are saying if h is equal to some function of u, v, w, this is not given to you, but because it is of this form y minus z, z minus x, and x minus y, so you have written this to be in this form, where what is your v? V is y minus z. So it is some function of, say, phi 1 of y and z, right? And your u, this was u. So u was equal to y minus z, and then v is equal to z minus x. So this is some other function of x and z, and we have w, which is equal to x minus y. So this is some third function of x comma y. So this is by just the notation to represent this, because you cannot directly calculate del h by del x in this particular case. So for that we will use this diagram. So this diagram, what is it? It says that this h is a function of u, v, and w, and u, v, w, they are functions of x, y, and z. So this is what we have in this case. For that, we wanted to calculate what is del h upon del x, what is del h upon del y, and what is del h upon del z. So this is required in order to prove the result. So here, firstly, we'll talk about del h upon del x. So now, you will see what are the ways in which you could reach from h to the point x. So there are 3 possible ways. One way is you go through this point, another way is you go through this point, third way is you go through this point. So for the first direction, you would have the derivative of h with respect to u, partial derivative. Why? Because here we have 3 variables, and here also we have 3 variables. So firstly, the partial derivative of h with respect to u, and then the derivative of u with respect to x. And for the second path, you will go through the direction h to x. So this would be the second path. So accordingly, your answer here would be del h by del v and then del v by del x, right? And for the third path, you will go from h to w and then w to x. So this is the third possible path. So del h by del w and then del w by del x. So we can calculate this because the expression for h is not given to you explicitly. So because you do not know what is this expression, so you cannot calculate these derivatives very easily, or in fact you are not able to calculate these as such. So you will keep these as such. So that means you will have here del h by del u as such, but you can calculate what is del u by del x, what is del v by del x, and what is del w by del x, because you know what are these. You know what is u is given to be y minus z. So what would be del u by del x? So it would be equal to 0 because there is no x. You will keep x, y and z as constants, and then the derivative of v with respect to x, that would be equal to minus 1 because z would be constant and y is also constant, and then the derivative of w with respect to x, that would be equal to 1. So now you have all these values, so you can substitute here. So first value is 0, so you have 0 plus del h upon del v as such, then the value of minus 1 here, and then del h by del w as such, the value of del w by del x, that is 1. So this is say equation number 1. Next we want del h by del y. So what would be this? Again you will go and look for different ways to reach this. How could you reach this possible area? From h to, we wanted to reach from h to the point y. So you could either go through this direction or through this direction or through this direction. So that means you will have del h by del u and then del u by del y, because finally we wanted to reach at y, and then del u h by del v by del y, and then we have del h by del w by del y. So see, this is similar to the previous one. Now again, because we do not know what is h, what is the expression for h, so we will write these terms as such, but we know what is the expression for u, v and w. So we will calculate what is del u by del y, del v by del y, and what is del w by del y. So here if you see, if you differentiate with respect to y, it would be equal to 1. If you differentiate here with respect to y, it would be equal to 0. And if you differentiate here with respect to y, it would be minus 1. So our answers are 1, 0, minus 1. So this is the answer. So say this is your equation number 2. And third and lastly, we'll calculate del h by del z. That would be obtained when you move from h through, firstly through u, then through v, and then through w. So this is the case. So here we would have del h by del u into del u by del z plus del h by del u into del v by del z plus del h by del w into, here we have the v, right, and del w by del z. If it is not clear, let me draw it again. H depends upon u, v and w, and these depends upon this x, y and z, and we wanted to reach from the point h to the point z. So one possible way is you go to u, then go to z. Another way is you go to v, go to z, go to w, go to z. So these are the three possible paths. So that means we have this is as the expression. So because we do not know the expression for h, so we'll write these terms as such, and then we'll calculate what is the value of del u by del z, del v by del z and del w by del z. So now from here you can calculate del u by del z, del v by del z is from this one, and del w by del z is using this particular expression. So now here we are differentiating with respect to z, so its value is -1. Here there is z present here, so its value is 1, and here because there is no z, so its value is 0. So we have -1, 1 and 0. So say this is your equation number 3. Now we wanted to prove that del h upon del x plus del h upon del y plus del h upon del z is equal to 0. So for that we will use equation 1, 2 and 3. The value of del h by del x, that is equal to this quantity plus this quantity. So we have del h by del w minus del h by del v, because this is 0. So we have del h by del w minus del h by del v. So this is according to first term. For the second term, because this is 0, so we have del h by del u minus del h by del w. So del h by del u minus del h by del w. And for the third term, we have this quantity as 0. So we have del h by del v minus del h by del u. So del h by del v minus del h by del u. So these are the terms. So now you see this term cancels with this one, this terms cancels with this one, and the last term of u cancels with this one. So this is equal to 0. So we have proved that this del h by del x plus del h by del y plus del h by del z, that is equal to 0.